Good morning, it's Mary Ellen from Mary Ellen After 60, and today I'm just going to share with you some tips that have made my life easier, especially in the kitchen. I like things, if you haven't figured it out by now, I like things pretty simple and not complicated. I did try a different experiment with my hair last night using the pin curls. It didn't turn out as well as my original. I will link that one below. I just go with it. If it doesn't turn out okay, I just go with it. I may end up pulling my hair up by the end of the day, but hey, you know what? It's all okay. It really is. The name of my video is, I don't know yet. No matter if I've had more money or less money, I've never been a wasteful person, and I will usually try something. I will try something because, again, what do I have to lose? I've grown tomatoes. This year I only had 4 plants, but I used to live on a farm. I used to have a garden, and I really didn't like canning. I did can, but I didn't like it. One day after I'd put everything up for my canning, I went out to the garden, and there were some tomatoes that were there. And I'm talking 35 years ago. And I just picked them off the vine, had plenty to eat. And with what I had left, I thought, I'm just going to stick them in the freezer. So I washed them and took the stem off of it, and I froze them. After they were frozen, I put them in Tupperware. I don't think we had Ziploc bags back in the day. Well, I found that they worked great in soups and stews and chili and all sorts of things. So that's what I do now. I don't can at all anymore, but I do freeze tomatoes. And you're going to see how easily peel comes off. This is a frozen tomato, and I'm going to demonstrate something for you. Okay, I just ran into the kitchen. I ran this frozen tomato underneath the hot water. I'm going to make a slit in the top, and the peeling just comes off, just like that. I mean, I can't see, I don't have my glasses on, but there's the tomato and here's the peeling. I mean, it does not get easier than that. I still make tomato juice, tomato sauce. They're not good sliced. But they're great using them in anything. Okay, we're going to talk about the egg. I like hard-boiled eggs. I like farm fresh eggs. I have been known to drive 45 minutes one way to buy farm fresh eggs. Well, now my drive is now down to 30. It's an hour round trip to go get eggs. It's a nurse that works at the local hospital that loves raising her hens, and she has fabulous eggs. Of all the years that I've done hard-boiling eggs, I thought I had found the perfect way to do them. I always put my eggs in a pot. The quicker they float to the top, the less fresh they are. The ones that stay down at the bottom are the ones that are the very freshest. If they bounce up really quickly, they have quite a bit of air in them, so they're a lot older. But I know that you don't want to use the freshest eggs to hard boil. So my procedure for all these years was to put them in a cold pan or pot and add baking soda, bring it to a boil, and let them simmer for about 15 minutes. Not a rolling boil, but that's how I did it. Immediately I drained the hot water off of them and then put cold water on them. Then I would tap 3 times on one end, 3 times on the other, and then roll it 3 times. And as a rule, I'd say 90% of the time the shells just slipped off. Well, I was watching Carol from UpLiftingHome, and she put vinegar in her water. I decided to try that. It did fantastic. I'm not kidding you. 100% of the eggs, the shell just slipped off using the same thing that I had done for years. But the other day there was one egg and it was down to the yolk. But I was just going to tell you, adding vinegar to your water, bringing it from cold to a kind of a rolling boil, and then taking it back to simmer, pouring off the hot water and rinsing them with as cold water as you have, especially until the pot gets cold. Yeah, that helps a lot. So I wanted to mention that to you. When I did a video on sharing some of the tips I have that I use in my kitchen. I just like things easy, like I said. I shared with you how I prepare my romaine lettuce to make it last a long time, and I want to show you what it looks like. Okay, that's my lettuce, and that's in a bag. And I'm going to take one leaf out right now. This is 3 weeks old, and I will tell you that it's as crisp as it can be. The edge right here is starting to get dark, but it's perfect. So anytime I want a salad, it's no big deal to run into the kitchen and whip one off. I leave them intact, I wash them, put them on a paper towel, and while the paper towel's wet, I stick them in a big Ziploc bag and store them in my refrigerator and take out what I need when I want to do it. I also do it with iceberg lettuce. And I believe the secret to keeping it from turning is don't ever use a knife on it. I learned that years ago. Use a knife if you want to use it up quickly, but if you keep it as intact as you can, like with the iceberg, I take it and I hit the core a few times on the countertop, and then I twist it out and throw that away, and then I run water inside the actual head, turn it upside down on a colander, and then just break it into 4 sections, turn it upside down on a paper towel, and stick it in a Ziploc bag or 2. I don't like iceberg lettuce. Jim likes iceberg lettuce. But I have to eat it now. I'm on like 10 milligrams of Coumadin 4 days a week and 9 milligrams the other 3. My doctor said, eat as many greens as you want and I'll just increase your medicine. I'm not interested in more medicine, so I just won't eat spinach. I won't eat kale, even though I love both of them. But I do eat romaine and a little bit of iceberg. I do want to mention on the lettuce, make sure you store it with the paper towel side down. And I always smell everything to make sure. To me, that's the first sign if something's not going well, but I've never had that problem before at all. I did have an avocado to share with you, but I did not film that day, and it was 2.5 weeks old. I purchased several of them and put them on my countertop and checked every day to see when they would start to get less firm. Once they got to the stage where I would eat them, I would put them in the refrigerator and then use them, and they do last a long time. With winter coming up, I think these are some good tips to have. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you found it helpful. I think that's the word. I hope you found it helpful. You don't have to throw away those tomatoes at all. You don't have to throw them away. Stick them in the freezer. I don't care how small they are or how large they are. And of course, like anything else, it is better the sooner you use it. But I've used a tomato I put in a Ziploc bag, a freezer bag. I've used them up to a year later, and they were fine. And I do have on my Tarte Lip Surgeon's crayon, and it's in Regal, R-E-G-A-L. It is all good. So you guys have a great day and enjoy. Thank you very much.